Welcome to the business of being healthy, where we are passionate about treating our health as good as we treat our wealth. Sheley Brien here, and I am obsessed with sharing real-life experiences and wisdom to help save you time, heartache, and money as you continue to grow personally and professionally. Twice a week, we push aside that BS to take massive intentional action. And I promise by tuning in, you will receive the straightforward talk you've been waiting for, filled with actionable steps that will inspire you to achieve the health and wealth you desire while you are building your empire. Well, I'm excited for you to tune into today's episode. This is the first one right after Thanksgiving, the Friday after Thanksgiving. So Black Friday, you're probably out there shopping around, getting all the deals, or like me, staying behind the scenes and doing it online, not going into the crazy crowds. But today's episode is one that I think is really timely for this point in the year, and then hopefully sets you up really just with a different perspective as you're closing out the year, beginning into next year. But you know that I drop 2 episodes a week. So Tuesdays are my guest episodes, and this Tuesday with Brooke, Dr. Sheley, was absolutely ridiculous. So I encourage you to go back and listen to that. However, my solo episodes here on Friday are super fun. These are a little bit of a shorter version just to offer you some insight, perspective, really to help you take intentional action and learn from other people. That's what this show is all about. But before I jump into the topic, I do want to just share one of the reviews that were left here on the show. This is something I'm doing on the solo episode, so I would love to call out your name, give you all the props, and it helps get the show out. So if you love this show, and I know if you're coming back, I really appreciate that. When you leave the review, it helps it get out there. It helps it reach more people so that we can all come together. So today's review is from James Photo AZ, and I actually know who left this one. And this review, literally, seriously, from someone, when you get a review from someone you don't know, it means the world, because like you have nothing invested in me, right? Except for this show. And it just like, it's like, wow, thank you for taking the time to do that. It also means just so much when someone that you respect leaves such a great review. And James, he doesn't just speak from, fluff. So this means a lot. And he says, it can be tiring. He says, it can be trying to find a show that has the right mix of host, pacing the topics, and providing the most value in the time we as listeners have to invest. This show, the host Sheley, her delivery, and the selective topics cut through the clutter to provide clarity on prioritization of health than when one is already critically busy and overwhelmed. Easily one of the best new shows I've come across. So James Photo AZ, thank you very much for those kind words. Don't forget, I am calling out these reviews each week. So I encourage you to leave one so that I can call you out too. But let's dive into the show here. And I want to just kind of pose something to you that was shared with me when I was little, and it has stuck with me and provided just a perspective that has truly changed the way that I approached the end of the year. And it goes, the difference between successful and unsuccessful people is that successful people are willing to do the things that unsuccessful people won't. Now, basically what that means is that it all comes down to will. It all comes down to choice. And typically this time of year, it's like the time, you've been pushing all year. And regardless, whether that's in your health or business, you've been pushing all year. It's time to relax. Thanksgiving. Now we have all the leftovers. Then it's like on to holiday party galores. I don't know about you guys, but my calendar is through the roof. I'm very grateful for that. But, it's like cocktails and appetizers and desserts and sweets, like all of this stuff. And when it comes to even growing your business, you're like, oh my gosh, I've been pushing so hard that it's like, I just need a break. I just need to relax. And Thanksgiving really kicks that off for a lot of people where they weaken in that last, 30 plus ish days of the year. And that comes to, like I said, the diet really kicks off. Like it's Thanksgiving Day, not Thanksgiving week, Christmas Day, not Christmas week, laying off work, not making those extra sales calls, not sending those emails that you said were on your list to do, not reaching out and making those connections because maybe you're thinking, oh, well, they're too busy or it's this time of year or what have you. I remember, and I'm going to share this story. I remember back in pharmaceutical sales, different companies would organize their year end or their quarterly payouts in different ways. And typically all of these had like some year end, big bonus, big award, watch, trip, all the stuff. Some companies had their year as a calendar year. And then a lot of them got smart and changed it to a fiscal year where their Q4 was actually Q1. Because when you look at sales in such large organizations as pharmaceuticals, but this could be carried over to anything, it's I want to say normal, but I just don't like that word. It's consistent among especially salespeople that when you get into that Q4, you're like, oh my gosh, let me die. But if you know that you have one more quarter to push through to win the award, to get the commission, to grow the business, those companies that actually changed it to where their Q4 was actually the typical calendar Q1, they actually made out. I would love to see the difference in bottom line numbers between those two companies. But I saw more and more companies going to this space. And one of the ways that I always separated myself when I was in sales in pharmaceuticals, so this was a long time ago, is that I was always told, you can't win back-to-back years. It's just too hard the way the quotas are set and everything. And there's some validity to that. But when you challenge me like that, I'm going to prove you wrong. And so every year I would push when everybody let off. And that was literally one of the things that separated me. There were quite a few different things, but I will tell you in Q4 is actually when I turned it up. Everyone else is taking their vacation. Everyone else is, going around giving high fives, not really like pushing. And I don't want to say I was like pushing in the sales field, but I was consistent. I never let up. I made sure that I hit my quota every day and occasionally would go above because I knew and I was willing to do the things that others weren't. And that resulted in literally back to back to back to back year wins because of such a small, simple thing, just something I was willing to do versus others. The other thing that I want to bring up is diet. And I don't love that word, nutrition. Let's talk about nutrition. Is that when it comes to weight gain, there's been numerous studies that have cited this, is that typical weight gain per year is about 8 pounds. Do you know when that 8 pounds is actually added on? Right now, literally right now. And then what happens is in this time period when you're putting on that weight, you get to the new year. Well, now it's time to be busy and grow the business. And you have the school activities and it's exciting. It's a new year. And your weight never comes off because it's never like forward thinking. So when it comes to nutrition and your health and really any area, I hope that one thing that you pulled from that story that I shared in pharma is it wasn't like I did more. It was I stayed consistent. I was willing to stay consistent regardless of the time of the year that it was. And that's what separated me from the other people in the pack. When it comes to this time of year with nutrition, I absolutely indulge. Absolutely. But it is for a specific time. It is not like the next 5 weeks. It is like, I'm going to enjoy Thanksgiving. I am going to have all the things, but then I'm going to be done. Same thing with Christmas, same thing at the parties. Like I will enjoy what is there, but then I leave it there and I get back to my consistency. I promise you, if you go to the gym the week after Thanksgiving, it will be the busiest time. because everyone's like, oh, I have to work off what I did. What if you didn't have to work off what you did? What if you just continued on? That's what I'm doing. It's Wednesday today. I'm going to go hit the gym. It's my second time for the week. So check, that is done. And then I'll have one more day that I need to, that I get to do cardio for my week, and I'm done. And we always do a Thanksgiving hike. So that is done. I'm not changing anything. I'm just staying consistent. And so I share that with you to just give you hope, in the sense that to really separate yourself, it's being willing to stay consistent. That is truly what is going to separate you from others. And so there's a few ways that you could do that. And one way that I have found to be quite successful is reframing the year. And what I always love to think about is, it's funny. I think about this in so many ways related to health and business. And I want to just talk business for a minute, because with business, those that are going to win in Q1 are doing it right now in Q4. Those that are going to have and I'll tie it to health, that are going to have the body that they feel comfortable and confident in this summer in a bathing suit, are building it right now. So if there was anything that I could say, is that you have to reframe your year. It's not really an end. And this goes back to like that infinite game mindset, is that I am playing this game to win indefinitely. I have known players, unknown players. The time frame is really forever. And I just want to keep playing the game. And by keep playing the game consistently, I am going to separate myself from others. So whether it's changing that mindset to an infinite game, and or reframing your year to be like, this is actually not my Q4, this is my Q3. I need to start my year strong. I need to stay consistent. I want to stay consistent in my health. I don't want to put on those pounds every year that I feel like I have to work off. Why do you think January is like the diet culture month that they love? Because everyone feels guilty about what they did the past time. Let's not give that industry what it wants, because we stay consistent through this time of the year, starting strong. And so I want to close this out by saying, you're hearing this the Friday after Thanksgiving, like I said in the beginning, and I want to present you with a choice. And I'm bringing it back to what I first said in the beginning about the difference between successful people and unsuccessful, is that unsuccessful are unwilling to do the things to stay consistent and successful. And so I want to bring it back to a choice. Which person are you? What are you willing to do? And I hope that after hearing this, it's not that you have to do more, but are you willing to stay consistent when it comes to the activities that you are doing to grow your business and or keep your healthy mindset, nutrition, exercise, movement going as you close out 23 and bring on 24? Thanks so much for tuning in. If this hit with you a little bit, maybe change your perspective, drop me a DM. I would love to hear. It's one of those that I'm hoping to really reframe this for so many people, so they start the year from a place of strength, not from a place of defeat. So thank you again for tuning in, and we will see you next week.